Hey everyone, so today is Operation Headliner. The goal is to remove the headliner altogether, simply because I have some work to do on the shade here and that drives me nuts. I really need to fix this, it's been too long. And additionally, as I showed you just earlier, there's water coming in on the front, so accessing the drains and everything will be significantly easier if the headliner is down. I realize this is a bit of work. I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but I'm going to start with the back here, removing the sides, because removing the sides will allow me to remove this section here, and removing this section will allow me to ultimately remove the headliner. And it's going to be similar on the outside. There are several components we need to take out, including the pillar trims there around the safety belts, along with you know, the sunshades, the handles and everything. So pretty easy, I think. We'll see how that goes. I'll proceed in steps and just add any kind of challenge to the video. All right, let's get going. Step number one will be to disconnect the battery. So just going to proceed with that. The reason being that we are going to be working around the airbag systems, like the lateral airbags and all this. You really don't want to have any kind of short that would happen that could potentially deploy the airbags. So we're going to bring this here, and I'm just going to cover the terminal here for additional good measure, just in case the cable would release itself on its own. Now let's look at the side panel here. So this section comes off. It's a combination of clips and screws. There's one torque screw right here. There's another one that's holding the this little latch, the swivel latch here, and the screw is right behind it. You can get to it if you have an extension through the hook here, through the opening. So we're going to start with that. The rest, to my knowledge, is clipped. We shouldn't have to remove the weather strip because it slides right under the lip here. So we should be okay. We'll see how that goes. There we are, this one. Okay, this one. Looks like this one is significantly longer. It's a different screw. It actually attaches right into the body of the car because it is the hook, but it's also holding this in place, right? So you want to take it out, and as you can see, it's pretty loose already here. You have to proceed in sequence because you have different parts that actually overlap, and so this is clipped. Next, there's no other screws I can find. It's held by the weather strip and likely a set of clips. There we go. So I'll show you what that looks like on this end. I think we're good. Shouldn't be a need to remove anything else, although for good measure I might take it out. And in order to take it out, I'm probably gonna have to remove this large bolt here that's at the bottom, and this is actually a triple square because this whole section is all one piece. Yeah, it's kind of riveted here. So I'll see if I can actually slide that component out without having to remove everything. But for now, we're gonna leave it at that. If I want to show you the clips in the back, you have two, right? And they slide right into the body of the car. On this end, yeah, you'll see you have these, can't really get to them, but you have these rivets, plastic rivets. They're holding the kind of the side panel here to the plastic panel. So it's all one piece, right? And there's likely a bunch of clips over there as well. But this now overlaps, as you can see. So this piece overlaps on that one. So now we have to take a look at this one and take it out. So let's do that. Got this one here. Yep, it's right there. Probably clipped again, so this one slides out. In fact, yeah, should have removed that one first, which comes out pretty easily. Right there. Looks like it's all kind of interconnected. There is a piece at the bottom, so I don't want to pull too hard, so I don't want to break anything. This section right here, which has a lateral airbag, and it's the piece that goes all the way to the back, does slide into this, right? So you can't quite see it, but if I pull on this piece, it kind of moves everything. There we go, see? So this piece here latches into this. So now we need to look at the top here. We're gonna remove the little airbag tag, because there's likely a screw behind it, and remove the top section. So I have a set of little pointy tools and trim removal tools. They will come pretty handy to do that kind of stuff. So we're gonna go at the airbag tag right here. It does pull up, which is a good sign. Okay, there you go. Didn't damage it, which is good. It's plastic, so that's your tag right here. Try to adjust here. Okay, and if you look at the back, made a small little mark on the plastic here. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we are. Okay, so, and that's the back. So it basically clips on both sides. So you insert it, see how, whoops. Here, see how the bottom of the clips here are beveled? Because they're designed to be inserted last, right? So when you put the thing on, I know now, you insert it from the top, sweep, and then you lock it down, pushing the bottom, which with the low bevel here locks these two little tabs in, right? So you have to remove it from the bottom, that's the key. And if you can get to those little tabs there and push them down a little bit, you will be able to take them out, right? So bit of a tricky part, but it's out. There is no screw actually, so that's a good thing to know. But there is definitely something that's holding this in place. There's a tight opening. There we are, right there. There we are. All right, okay. So that was a bit of a B, and this is inserted in the bottom here, so it should just come out. Now there could be, the latches could be pretty long because it does insert at the bottom. Just want to remove this altogether, show you how it's designed. There we are. Okay, so this is out, almost out. Perfect. Woo! Okay, good. Happy with that. Little victory. So this is the piece. This is good because I'll be able to do a bit of a cleanup. That's the way it's designed. This is the access hole right through the airbag, and this is how the clip is designed, right? So you have to, actually the purpose of the hole is to be able to insert a screwdriver, a flat one, just like the one I had here. I'll try to show you. And when you insert the screwdriver in the hole, it basically goes in and pushes down on the tab here. See? I'm not sure whether you can see this. There we are. So see, my screwdriver is sticking out here. And when you insert it, you press down on this little tab here, right here. And this is the spring tab that's locked into the body of the car. See, it's got some teeth, right? Some two kind of locks. And so when you press down on it, you can then pull it from the top. You have two little nipples here that latch into the sides. Then you have the three tabs that insert in the bottom. So to put it back, you insert it at the bottom first, and then you lock in the top, right? That's the way you do it. Okay, so that's good. I'm happy with that. I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm not gonna record for that because there's really no difficulty there. The next step is gonna be to remove the handles. The handles are pretty easy to remove. You pull it down, you use your little pick tool, and you go under there to expose the screws, right? And these are, I believe, are T20s as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think they are. And actually, when you open up, this is actually clever design, because when you open up these little latches, they latch in place. See, when you pull down on the handle, you'll see there's an actual location where this is designed to lock to the handle and keep it in that position. Okay, so the handle is out. Just wanted to show you how you remove that. So like I said, 2 Torx 20, again, screws. I just put them back here so that they don't fall off. There's only one side that's actually spring loaded. The other side is just a regular hinge. And so the way you do it is you remove the screws and then you just pull straight down, right? So you have these 2 little tabs that are inserted in the body, in the roof, and you just pull down and it comes off. Once you do that, you can access the top of the liner much more easily, because I actually couldn't take out the light simply because ultimately there's a connector that slides on top here, and when it's connected, this is not gonna come off, right? You see the bulb here, and there's actually a spring on that side, but this one I couldn't get it out either. So this might come off now, obviously, now that I have better access. There we are. Okay. And down it goes. So the spring was actually on the right, on the left. This is your roof light. See the bulb inside, and yeah, you have to push on the spring on that side in order for this to release. I was pushing like an idiot on the other side. You can see the marks of my screwdriver. It's obviously not doing anything because the connector was right behind, so there was no way for this to come out anyways. So that's done, and actually the roof liner has already started to come down, which is great because I can now see the whole mechanism for the shade of the sunroof, which ultimately is the one thing that I absolutely need to fix. The good thing is that I might also be able to, I will have more space to run some lines. I have an aftermarket radio that I'm going to install with a rear view camera. I want to run the wiring correctly, like through the ducts here. I'm not sure how easy this is going to be, but certainly this is going to be something that I will be working on. Now, next is the side pillar here. So that's a bit of a concern, I think. Now remember to, I'm just going to move the seat forward a little bit. Remember to always disconnect your battery, simply because you're working around airbags. So you don't want to do anything that could potentially trigger your airbags. That would be very problematic. I did replace a side airbag in the past. It's doable, but in my experience, I actually had to replace the ABS, the airbag module as well, because it does actually keep the fault in memory. So I had to replace both. It was an ordeal. That's when my son had a fender bender with the Jetta TDI that I used to have. It was not okay. Same idea here. Now we know how these little clips are designed for the airbag. So remember, we're going to take them off the bottom, trying to grab the little tab. So I've got a pointy tool here we can use to do this. Again, you might be able to do this with a screwdriver, like a flat one, and we will do the exact same thing. So insert this under there. It's going off already, which is good. Then just a matter of getting to the little tabs. Ultimately, if it breaks, pretty certain you can find some of those on Alibaba or AliExpress or whatnot. So they should be there. There we are. It's good. It's good. It's significantly easier to do this when you know the locking mechanism is designed. So you just twist with the little pin tool. This one is absolutely intact. There's no damage whatsoever, which is great. I'm going to put it in my box here. So now here we do have a T20 screw. So this one is definitely holding the trim in place. We have the seatbelt adjustment mechanism. This piece of trim looks like it's just inserted, so it clips off. On this side I think it might be inserted in the weather strip, like a little bit further in. Yeah, it kind of wraps around, so there we go. Let's take the screw off, and off it comes. Beautiful. So this section here, we're gonna leave it in place, like in situ, simply because removing this would require to remove the belt altogether and the anchor point at the bottom. There's an access, there's like a little door to access the nut. Just don't want to be doing this right now, so I just need the liner out. So once the liner is out, I'm just going to put the trim back on, and that should do the job for now. So you'll have to be careful when you put it back in place, because it looks like this has been taken apart already, because I can see on the plastic here. But your latch adjustment mechanism, or the latch itself here that you press down on to adjust the belt, will have to reinsert into the top here, right? So if you don't touch anything, if you don't modify the position of either or, you should be fine, and it looks pretty easy to put back in anyways. So that's good. Just gonna leave the screw right here because I don't want to lose that one. I will proceed and remove the door handle here. Okay, down goes the screw. I'll pick it up later. The front comes off. Otherwise, and then you just pull down. There you go, and out goes the head. So let's take a look here first before we do anything stupid. We have the pillar here trim we need to take out. That shouldn't be too complicated. In fact, we might not even need to take it out, because if this is inserted from the back to the front, then the liner is going to insert right into it. But I would prefer taking it out anyways, because again, the drain comes through this, right? So your sunroof drain goes through the pillar and down. So ideally, I would really prefer to take this out. Now let's look at the sunshades, because we have a light here, and there's a switch. So there is wire that controls the little light that's in the that's on the liner here. So to take this out, same thing. There are some little tabs at the bottom here that you need to take out. One is gone already on this side, so it's missing. So this is an airbag tag, but it does not come off, right? So it's just embedded into the plastic. Don't try to take it off. Right at the top here of the sunshade, and I think, yeah, you actually lift it up from the bottom towards the front, right? It's hard to see. Hope you can see this here. And this is gonna uncover a T20 screw again. Take this one out. Take the other one out too. There we go. And then the shade should come off. Oh, the screw just came down. Yeah, it's right here. Okay, there we go. And this one, however, so this one you pull down and you slide towards the front, and it should come out theoretically. And I just ripped the circuit. Ah, fuck. Okay. So that's what you don't want, right? So I ripped the, I just ripped the circuit here. So this is the contact. I think it was working before, so I think I just ripped it literally. So this is the contact between, that actually triggers the little vanity light here. That's not good. I wish I would have not done that. And there is a low latch here on the side. So same thing, there's a spring. You take this out, it comes out, and that's the other side of the circuit. which actually, did it just rip? Yeah, it definitely ripped. Okay, so gonna have to disconnect that. So same thing, the latch is on the right side, there's a spring. Press on the spring, pull out and pull towards the outside of the car, the right side of the car, and then you'll be able to disconnect the vanity light. So it's kind of dirty actually, I'm gonna have to clean this up. So that's for that. That's not good. Now let's look at the side pillar trim here. This one is inserted on the side, you can see here. So just gonna pull out. The airbag is right behind it, you'll see it. I'm seeing a couple of trim, sorry, like a little, oh, there is in fact a, that is one of the little weird. Okay, so that one I'm gonna have to show you because it's a little weird, I've never seen that before actually. When you look at the back here, you see there is this little kind of hammerhead tab that's holding this in place. I don't know what it's attached to on the outside. Looks like it's attached to the body. And I'm concerned this might be part of the airbag system. So I'm gonna try to remove it. Although I'm not even sure whether it's designed to be removed. We have two. This section comes off actually. So right there. So I'm at the top unit here. This comes off. So there are two latches, which I believe are right there, right at the top. So let's do this. Again, with a flat screwdriver should allow you to pull this out. There we go, one is out. And just lock it back in. Aye, aye. So it comes out on this end. I don't know why it doesn't come out on that end. There we are. Okay, so it's a bit of a bitch to remove. Just damage the plastic a little bit, but I'll be able to fix that. This comes out. I'm gonna put this here. A little bit of damage here, not much. Okay, so we have two screws that we're gonna take out, and the second one. Fell off again in my little cup holder. Good. So that's good. Just gotta go back up here. So this now is somewhat loose. The whole thing, I'm just pulling down gently on this. I don't see anything else in this area that would indicate that I have to remove any of that. So I just think it's clipped and inserted from the bottom, like from the back. Oh, crap, I think I just broke the side here. So clearly that's not the right way to do it. Okay, so we have something that just unclipped here. Oh, that could help. Okay, so that came out. That's good because that might give us more information. So that piece is inserted in and out and clipped in, sorry. And sure enough, we got more screws here. So we're gonna remove these screws now. Okay, I'll try not to lose that one. This one is a different color. It's like white metal versus black. Okay, this is out too. Almost out. this should come out. There we are. Okay, so now the whole system comes off. So as I suspected, it's inserted from the front and clipped on the back. So there's one connector here I just removed. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So we've got a blue connector here. We've got this connector there, which is the control knob for the sunroof. Okay, so there's a little latch on the right side here of the connector. So I think pressing down on this, you just press on the little latch on the right side and pull. And you, yeah, there you go. Well, just disconnected on its own. It's hard, I couldn't hold it because I'm filming, so that's what the unit looks like. So that's a big step. The reason why we heard this cracky sound is because I kind of lightly cracked the side of the bracket right here. So you obviously don't want to pull down on this too much, because until you remove the unit, you can't access the two last screws that are up here. Okay, so I'm gonna disconnect those two. Okay, one came down in my cup holder. Can't really do everything. And this is the second one. Okay, I got the screw of that one, and then the whole thing comes out, right? So this is it. No major damage outside of the, I'm just looking for the screw that came down. There we are. Yeah, outside of the vanity light on this side that I completely ripped. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Take the two other door handles out, the low light. I know how to do all this now. And then the whole thing should technically come down, because this, oh yeah, so we're gonna have to be very careful here again, because see, there is a piece of circuitry here that's, see the circuit here? This is attached to this. This is the headliner. So when you pull down, this is gonna rip. So it seems to be glued or attached with like double-sided tape or something. Or is it, oh, there's circuit that runs throughout, like on the other side, to go to the other vanity light that I broke earlier. So that means that this needs to be disconnected from this harness here. Okay, so when you pull the headliner down, make sure this is disconnected. It's hard to do with one hand again. I'll try to give you a better view. I can find my flashlight, and there we are. So right there, see this connector? This connector attaches to this flat circuit. Flat circuit runs on top of the headliner, and that feeds the two vanity light systems. So you want to remove this harness, absolutely. And you probably need two hands to do this, because I don't think, oh, there we go, I got it with one hand, perfect. And this runs on top of these wires. So same thing here, make sure that when you remove the headliner, you're very cautious. You know what sucks is I just realized that if I ripped, which I did, I ripped the vanity light on the right. It's probably the full harness here, right, of the headliner that you will have to replace, because that circuit continues. See, you have 6 leads here. That harness splits to 3 here that connect here. So it goes to that side, and then probably goes to the other side. So the other side is probably, it's not repairable at this point. I'm trying to see whether there is anything else here that needs to be removed. We did take these screws out earlier. These were the bigger ones. So this is probably just clipped in now. It's probably gonna come out. We'll see how that goes. And but yeah, there you go. See, we're hearing things unclipping. That's probably just clipped in, like these guys here. Can't really see how that's built, but it looks like it. Yeah. And yeah, so that's just gonna come out. We're gonna take the other sunshade out. Won't film that one because it's pretty straightforward. Same thing for the handles. And then I'll resume the video once all of this is done. All right, so I've removed everything. It's technically ready to come out. So handles are out, vanity light is out, everything is out, the back is out. So the only thing is that, so I did pull down on this. I'm not sure whether it was such a good idea, because you'll see how these little locks, like metal locks, are designed. Because I saw that earlier. They're inserted into the plastic here, and I thought they would come out. They did not come out. So it's kind of forced on the plastic. I'm not sure what state the plastic is in, but it might not have liked that too much. So just continuing to unclip everything here. This is loose. Yeah, all this is loose. Got my pillar here. Again, I'm not gonna remove this just now. And in theory, the whole thing is pretty much loose now. There's nothing holding it. Okay, I saw some plastic jumping. Not sure what that was. Oh, these are parts that go around the handles. Okay, so this should come out. The whole thing should come out. Okay. Because this is a metal. Yeah, there we are. Because it was actually resting on there, on both sides. All right. So in theory, it should now come out completely. Yeah, this is all loose. Perfect. This is a big piece, so I don't know how it's supposed to take it out because it's bigger than the opening of the vehicle. Hold it. There's a metal bracket all around it. Probably not the right way to take it out. Should ideally come down. Or when you remove the side, this is where this comes handy, right? I'll make sure I don't damage it too much. That would be a problem. This would be still coming out, but yikes. Wow. Okay. Well, that's your liner right here. First of all, I now have access to the full system for the I see what happened here. I was just looking at where these pieces come from, but they're still standing on the other side. So we have access to the full, sunroof, which is good. Actually, it didn't take that long to remove overall. When you know what you're doing, it's much quicker. So if I would do it again, it would take me less time. Now you see that there's some sagging going on here. It's because of the humidity and that came on both sides. There's no damage otherwise. This will probably come off. You can see my fingerprints here. Or not fingerprints, but finger marks. And if we look at the other side of that thing, this is where I have concerns when I will reassemble it. So this clips, the metal clips that are holding the front of the liner are actually inserted. They slide in. Not sure whether you can see that. But they slide in between. And yeah, I pulled on them, so luckily they didn't damage the plastic, which is good. but certainly I'm gonna have to look into this. This is what happened when I pulled on the circuit. So it literally ripped it apart. I'm wondering how this was even assembled, because it must have been like this originally. See, it looks like it was torn already once. Yeah, so replacing this, I don't think, this is glued on. I don't know. I don't know whether it's even worth it, me looking into this. So we have this, we have some noise cancellation or spacers, I guess, for the airbag system. See, the whole vanity light system is a single bracket at the end, so it runs along the entire underneath of the vehicle, of the not the vehicle, the headliner, right? And everything gets connected that way, so it's kind of pre-wired, right? Other than that, nothing major. I mean, this things actually clip around the sunroof. I'm gonna take a look at what this looks like on the inside. So we've got the sunroof system. We've got our drains. You can tell there's been some water. See how it popped out here? This space right there. This shouldn't be there. This should be slided right in there. So this is where our leak is coming from. Water is leaking out of the drain, and it's not clearing the nipple. So that basically is not doing its job. And we likely have a similar problem on the other side. It shouldn't be extending that much, right? So we got that. That is quite interesting. We have a missing nut right there on the what seems to be a bracket of some kind. I'm not sure what this bracket is for exactly, but this is actually holding the handle, like your swinging handle screws in there. We have a missing nut right there. So this, that's for the rack actually. That's the roof rack that screws in there. So, well, okay, so clearly some things have already been done on this vehicle. Yeah, I got my nuts here. So these are here. This is here. Now we have the whole airbag system here with the trim for the pillar. I will show you on the outside because I took it out. It's using these little connectors or nipples, or I don't know how you name those. So it's two-part. This one was bent pretty badly. I straightened it, but it kind of snapped, right? So it's probably not gonna hold for that long. But that's what they use to hold this to the back. So I can probably pop this out real quick. I reconnected the battery because I had to do something here, but it's two-part, right? And it's gonna be really hard to see, but I think you might be able to see it. Yeah, there you go. See the white piece over there? That's coming out. So the audio stopped recording. I guess the mic was on a battery. What I wanted to point out here is that this clip is two parts. There's the white part that inserts into the pillar, and there is the black part, which is this little nipple clip that inserts into the white socket, so to speak, that's in the pillar. So they need to be aligned. If they're not aligned, then the black clip doesn't really enter the white clip, but I'll show you that a little bit later. Here, what we'll continue doing is work on the left pillar so that we can also access the drain from the sunroof fully. The insertion point actually that goes to the outside of the car is at the bottom of that pillar. And for these clips, they're absolutely horrible to remove. And it was really hard for me to do a video of how to do this. But you have 4 of them. One of them, actually 2 of them, stayed attached to the headliner and kind of fell off. But chances are, like the way these little clips are designed, if you look at them, you have these 4 little legs that insert into the little sliding space on the headliner. I'm just going to show this to you in a moment. And when you pull down on the headliner, they basically
kind of unclip themselves. But the way you would normally reinsert them is just like that. You slide them in, right? So when you put the headliner back on, you fundamentally need to reinstall them on the headliner before you clip them in. And when you pull the headliner down, chances are the plastic is just going to bend out of shape, and the clips will snap out, will basically kind of pop out of their two little rails. So they're really tedious to remove from the top here, because you have to kind of press down on the sides in order to be able to take them out. Now there is this opening here where you can gain some access, but it's really not helping much at the end. You'll be better off using a pick tool or something of the like, or a pair of pliers, just like I have here with like the bent, like the curved nose, to access the sides of the clip in order to be able to take them out. Okay, so let's look at these metal clips and see how you can take them out. Like I said, it was very difficult. I had to use a small flat screwdriver and a little pick tool in order to get inside the opening and press down on both sides at the same time so that the clip would ultimately unlock itself from the roof here. And they're not designed to be removed easily. If you look at the design of that clip, even with some pliers, if you try to pull on them, they're not gonna just pop out. They simply won't. They're very solid. They're made of metal, as you can tell, and they're not designed to pop out easily. If you look at the design, you'll see there are two little wings on each side, and they're pretty big, right? So once they're locked into position, they won't come off unless you actually manage to press down on both sides at the same time, which is what I'm trying to explain here. And the way I did it, you use one little screwdriver on one side and another screwdriver, another pick tool on the other side, and you try to bring them together so that the clip will ultimately unlock itself from the roof. And it took me a while, and there's, I kind of cut off the video here because, frankly, it took me quite a while to get to the point that I was able to take them out. Luckily, I had two only that I had to remove. The two others, for some odd reasons, did pop out. I can't quite explain why, but they will. Perhaps you'll get lucky and they will stay on the headliner. But if you don't, you're gonna have to try to make space like I did here and pushing the clip to the side, and then have enough room to insert your little tools and bring the two sides together so that the clip will ultimately pop out. So again, I've trimmed the video, but here is a sped up view of how I managed to take it out. Again, using the two little tools, trying to bring the two little wings together, and then using my pliers to pull on it. It was a little brutal, but by pulling and sliding it in the opening, I was able to bring the two little wings together. It was tedious. It was a little savage, as you can tell, but I did manage to take it out. So it's doable. So it did get bent a little out of shape, but nothing that I wasn't able to fix using a pair of pliers. You might have a better way to do it, but as far as I was concerned, I was just happy that I managed to take it out with limited damage. It didn't break or anything like that. The clip was still very much usable, but again, it's pretty solid metal and it's not designed to be taken out easily.
The two little white pieces that flew off earlier when I pulled on the headliner, I replaced them. You have two little pieces on top here, metal, like these clips. The screws actually screw right through them, and you have two little arms on either side. You can use some pliers. Ideally, like the ones with a curved neck are good because they can really get in there. Squeeze both sides and this clip comes out.
Normally the white part here will attach over the little tabs, the little metal tabs here that you can see. But occasionally after years, the plastic will get brittle, and when you will remove the headliner, the plastic piece here will fly off. So it's still hanging in there. In my case, it's still attached and secured. And once you put the handle back on, the screws will hold it in place. So the next video will be to look into the sunshade, which was the initial project, along with the drains for the sunroof, and see whether everything is working well and locate the leaks I'm having. I hope this is helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video.